Some questions. Yes, please. Yes. Yes.
So I am a student. I'm in my first year of my PhD, and I'm very holistic, like you are. And it's very painful to try to narrow down my approach. And I'm interested in climate change, global justice, behavior change, global identity, the consciousness you spoke about. So if you have a little nugget of advice.
Mahatma Gandhi used to get such questions, and he had 3 advice, which I would repeat for you. First of all, he would say that be the change you want to see in the world. In a small way, whatever you want to see in the world, practice it yourself. Whether it's a food or clothes or anything you are living your life, live according to your beliefs. That's the first thing. Second thing, don't just stop there. Communicate. So my advice to you, like Gandhi would say, would be learn to communicate your ideas. Because we cannot afford any time now just to be happy, just practicing our good life. We have to communicate. And the third thing Gandhi would say, which I would also advise you, is start to organize. Because communicating and then forgetting and going away, that's not enough. You have to get groups together, work together, act together. So when you bring together a group, your energy will be multiplied. 1 and 1 together are not just 2. If you put 1 and 1 together, how many there are? 11. 11. So these are the 3 advice I will give you for your holistic approach. Be the change you want to see in the world. Learn to communicate and communicate. And third, organize. Yes. Yes, please.
I guess I have a question about globalization. You know, I mean, clearly there are negative consequences of, globalization, but there are also really good parts. I mean, we love to learn about other people, other cultures. I think we're happy to, help raise people out of poverty. So how do you reconcile, we all share this planet together. At the same time, we want to preserve, our different special, unique attributes. So how do we come up with a vision that embraces
the two? Yeah. Here, rather than quoting Mahatma Gandhi, I would quote John Maynard Keynes, a great English economist. He said, have global consciousness, have global ideas. Send our English Shakespeare to India and get Indian Tagore or Bhagavad Gita to England. So global awareness, global consciousness, global communication, global culture, of exchange of culture. So you can have ballet from Russia and you can send your ballet from San Francisco to Moscow. That kind of globalization is fine. We are not talking about parochial, narrow thinking, kind of closing your doors. What Resurgence stands for, as Jerry said, this radical, revolutionary inclusivity. So we can have that global awareness and global. I am visiting professor of global awareness at St. Louis. But what we do not want globalization is these goods traveling all around the world, which are easily available in your area. For example, I give you my own example. I live in Devon, in England. Now, Devon is a superbly, wonderfully, beautifully dairy country. We have wonderful butter, wonderful cheese, wonderful cream, everything. But what happens? Our butter is exported to France or Denmark or Norway or Germany, somewhere. If you go in Devon and look in a shop for Devon butter, it will be very hard to find. What do you find in Devon shops? Butter from New Zealand. Now, what is sanity in that kind of globalization? This time I'll quote E.F. Schumacher. E.F. Schumacher, who wrote Small is Beautiful, It's in his book, but he told me himself the story. He said, once he was standing outside London, and he saw you call it lorry or a truck? A lorry, a truck. A lorry load of, in England we say lorry, a lorry load of cookies coming from Scotland to England, to London. And then a few minutes later, he saw another lorry load of cookies going from London to Scotland. Now, he was an economist, so he tried to make an economic sense. What is economy in this driver, day after day, week after week, burning fossil fuel, which is so scarce, because he was also working for coal board, and so he knew the price of oil. So burning oil on these motorways, carrying cookies from London to Scotland and Scotland to London. As an economist, he said, I could not make any sense. But then I thought, maybe I'm not a nutritionist. By exporting cookies from London to Scotland and from Scotland to London, perhaps the nutrition value is increased. Now that is the rationale to understand that there is no good in having this globalized trade in goods which are perfectly possible to grow in our own local economy. And local, Mahatma Gandhi called it Swadeshi, which is a local economy. So globalization, make your mind global, meaning you have global awareness and you have global understanding of culture. It's so wonderful to have the Dalai Lama coming and giving talk here from India. It's wonderful to have Fritjof Capra going to India. Recently he went to India to give some teachings at Vandana Shiva's place in India. So this kind of exchange of ideas, of knowledge, of music, of art, of culture, I have no problem. But this goods traveling and services traveling, business people traveling, flying around the world for no real purpose, that kind of globalization is no good. That globalization will cause more and more global warming because globalization is based on fossil fuel. So if you can walk from India to America, that kind of globalization is fine. Any other question? Yes, please. Yes.
I currently work in Haiti on teaching people how to raise rabbits as a farmer-to-farmer volunteer. And that's a really good example there of a society that has lost soil, lost its sense of society, and the impact that it's having on the soul of the people is very, very profound. My question to you is, why is it that so few speakers and leaders don't address the issue of overpopulation and population control? And my second question is, would a country like Haiti, which is the size of Massachusetts and has 9 million people and it's been profoundly impacted in almost every way and as a result of extreme poverty, could we not find a way, a collaborative way, to use it as an example to show that we can end poverty and world hunger?
Yeah, no, very good question. There is a wonderful book by Bill McKibben. And if you have not come across this great writer from your country, Bill McKibben, he is worth reading. And one of his books is called Maybe One. That's the answer to your population question. Maybe one. But at the same time, as we are concerned with numbers, and we must reduce our numbers, I think 6 billion is already quite a big number. And now I think we have to create education, awareness, and understanding that we need to check our numbers. In the Genesis, say, you have dominion over the earth and responsibility to multiply your numbers. And we have been doing a very good job of that. But just numbers game is not enough. We cannot stop at just numbers. We have to also think about the pattern of consumption. Even if you have only 1 or 2 billion people on this earth, but if everybody lived like the lifestyle of a US citizen, with private jets and private cars and private this and private that, 3 houses and more than 1 car, if we lived that kind of consumerist lifestyle, then for 6 billion people, if everybody lived this kind of lifestyle, we will need, according to E.O. Wilson, 6 planets.